All right, Leo. So the cards you're pulling this week are a little different. I don't think I've ever seen this combo before. So from Lay Vampire, you pulled Love Conquers All, Enduring Loyalty, Eternal Love, and Lasting Commitment. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Mysticism, which is different. It's different to see with Love Conquers All. That is a beautiful card. It is talking about how powerful the emotion of love is and how it can change lives. Love is all there is. And it's talking also about giving it a place of honor in your life, in your home, in your work. When you act from a place of love, you're acting in, the most purest form. It's so important to put love first, right? But when you're looking at that with mysticism, it's like maybe, not really understanding, the intuitive nudges and unknown motivations that are happening here in regards to love. Now, mysticism, the inspiration is talking about how it is wise to be the observer. Do not respond until you are certain. The unknown is not easy, but it is no longer necessary to fear. And then the personal question says, am I ignoring my intuition? What I suspect is probably true. The key ideas are ignoring signs, unknown motivation, intuitive knowing, fear of the unknown, and journey. So again, for some of you, it may be a situation in love where, you may be ignoring the signs that are around you. Maybe you're not understanding what, those unknown motivations are. But again, there's no need here to fear the unknown. It's just saying that when it comes to love, for a lot of you, you're going to have to observe the situation to get a better understanding. But also it is important to pay attention to your intuition. All right, Leo, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. The Page of Wands, nice. Now, I see the pages more as messengers than I do as actual energies. I mean, yeah, they do represent the younger people. It could be children, but I usually look at it when I'm doing readings as somebody who, may be like mentally like younger than you, a kind of immature feeling here, or just really young at heart, right? But when you're looking at it in terms of you, right, because of it being the fire energy, for some of you, this may be a really like I don't want to say like lighthearted feeling. That's more of like the Page of Cups, but it's almost like you have this youthful excitement going on, I think is a better way to put it. And it could be because you have new opportunities that are showing up, because the pages definitely represent something new. New messages that are coming through. Some of you may be excited about doing something new. But whatever it is here, the messages that you're receiving, they have a lot of excitement around it, which is good. And in the past, what's funny is that Cancer pulled that in the same spot. Justice. So justice as the past coming through is talking about fairness and balance. It's also talking about wrongs being amended, weighing out a situation before making final decisions. But what I love about justice is there's fairness and balance with this card. And again, wrongs being amended, which is perfect. Oh, and in the present, look at that shit, the Magician. Hell yeah. With the Page of Wands, that's great. That's perfect energy. The Magician is about manifesting. It's not an actual manifestation, but for me, it like represents the beginning of that. It's like picking the mind of God and bringing it down to earth. And it's saying that you have the skills and the tools that you need to manifest the things that you want. It always, like, for me, represents somebody who's thinking big. I'm going to manifest some cool ass shit, right? And especially with the Page of Wands, that's great. Beautiful energy. And look at those majors. They look great. Oh, future conditions, the Four of Pentacles. What are you hanging on to? That's my immediate question with this card. Now, for some of you, this may be a situation here where, you're in a position where you're not willing to let go of anything. And the problem is if you're not willing to do that, you can't, really expect to manifest big things, right? There may be some things that you're hanging on to a little bit too tightly. I kind of worry when I see this card. Now, when you're looking at, if you're manifesting some cool ass shit, hell yeah, I want to hang on to that. I don't want to share that with anybody, right? But for me, it's like, what are you hanging on to? And then the other thing that pops into mind for me too is with the Page of Wands, there's always that little bit of hesitation there before you start out on the new path. And it may be because there's something that you have to release. Your best path to follow. Okay, so here's the thing. When you're looking at the Two of Wands, I've always said that this one goes back to the Magician, because you start with the initial thought, and here, this is where you think about what you need to do to start taking action towards this, which is good. It's good. This is where the action starts. So when you're looking at the Two of Wands, you have that initial spark of creativity. Now what do you do with it, right? You hold your own world in your hands. What are you going to do with it, right? And as your best path to follow, when you're looking at that and you're looking at mysticism, if you're doing something because of like an unknown nudge to do something, right? It's saying that, you need to observe the situation first, right? Because you're not really full on acting here. You're making the decisions to act. But it's like, what do you do? Where do you go, right? So you're thinking about it here. And that's good, because you can't really start acting while you're hanging on to something, and I'm still wondering what it is that you're hanging on to. When I look at that with, the connection to your past, it may be one of those things where there may have needed to be like, some wrongs amended, and maybe there's some part of that you're not really willing to let go of just yet. But this energy looks really good, and so does the Page of Wands. It's just, hey, you need to think about things first before you start acting, and it's like almost, you need to understand that there are some things that you're going to have to release before you start doing some major manifesting, right? Nice, nice. So in your environment, looking at the Magician and looking at the world is really great energy. Basically, you're going from, the ending of the majors, like major events happening, and you're going into the new beginning, right? The Fool is, it's both. It is the beginning and the end. But when you're looking at the world and going into the Magician is good. And when I'm looking at the world connected to justice, basically it's saying that whatever was going on in the past has ended successfully. It is the successful completion. It's feeling accomplished, feeling like you're on top of the world, right? It's a beautiful energy. It's one of those endings that I like to see. It's different than looking at like the Wheel of Fortune, because that to me is saying that another cycle is happening. This is more, the ending, the successful ending, and the door opening to the brand new beginning. But things have completed themselves in a very good way, especially with justice being there. It looks really good. Oh, Leo. Speaking of love, there's the Ace of Cups. Seeing that in your hopes and fears, I'm looking at you wanting to manifest a new beginning here, a new emotional beginning. And there's some passion behind this too. And this may be a situation here where this opportunity is opening up because of a completion that is happening, right? When you're looking at the Ace of Cups, it is love. It is about love. New relationships, a new beginning in a relationship. It also has to do with the connection to spirit, right? And looking at mysticism, yes. Yeah, getting a deeper connection when it comes to your intuitive nudges. But the Ace of Cups coming out of the world, that's a beautiful beginning. Beautiful. And as long as you place your focus on that, there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to manifest it. But, don't hang on too tightly to things that are completed. You don't want to have that hold you back. Oh, shit. Leo, wow. The Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. And then you have the Magician and the Two of Wands. Jesus. Woo! That looks really good. Really, really good. Here's the thing. When you're looking at it connected with the Four of Pentacles, basically, you're going to get clarity. You're going to get understanding. It's knowing the truth, speaking the truth, seeing the truth. It is absolute mental clarity. And it is about having new, fresh ideas and thinking big, especially with the Magician, right? Speaking your truth. It's great. And I think that, you will intuitively know that there are things that have to be released. And I'm not seeing anything bad that needs to be let go of. It's just one of those things where, if you've had to deal with like wrongs that needed to be amended, you have to remember that it's over and done with. You are looking at new beginnings, absolutely new beginnings, right? And you are manifesting some cool ass shit. Hell yeah. But I do think that, when you're doing the thinking here about what action you need to take, there's also that need here to think about, these things too that need to be released, because intuitively that it's over with. It's done, but it's done in a way where, it's not going to be a painful ending or an overwhelming ending. It's none of that shit. It has successfully completed itself. It is over with. That part, that chapter in your life is done. You are opening up to beautiful, beautiful beginnings, Leo. Beautiful. And definitely I can understand why the Page of Wands is a signifier here, because I would be excited about this too. I would be a little bit hesitant if I'm still hanging on to crap, but for you guys, I think you'll be able to bounce back from this. And when you're looking at the Ace of Swords and you're looking at justice, whatever you have dealt with in the past, I mean, this looks great, right? Truth and clarity and balance, fairness and balance, being able to make clear-cut decisions, especially when you have the Two of Wands here. It's great. It's perfect. I love it. All right, Leo, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. But this is a fantastic reading. I love it when the Ace of Cups shows up for you guys, because, there's so many different ways to look at that kind of a beginning. You don't have a lot of relationship cards going on here, but this is saying that you're looking at a beginning that is going to be your truth, and it will be emotionally fulfilling, which is really good, really good. And energy, new energy, absolutely, especially with the Page of Wands, the Magician, the Two of Wands, the Aces you've got going on. Hell yeah. Compassion. Here's the thing. When you're looking at compassion, and I just talked about this too, you guys aren't the only ones to pull this. When it comes to dealing with people who may be doing things that you don't understand, the best way to act is with compassion, right? And having love in your heart. But it's also important for you to have compassion for yourself. But inner voice, absolutely, there is something that you intuitively know. Intuitively know that is your truth. It is so important to listen to that inner voice. Have compassion for yourself and others, and tap into that new energy that is happening for you. It looks great. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And then you also pulled getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Absolutely. So in order to get to know the other person, you have to have some conversations about the way that you feel. So singles, you may be meeting somebody new that you need to get to know. You deserve love. You are lovable. And then you also pulled, wow, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So when you're looking at religious factors and you deserve love, here's the thing. When it comes to beliefs, and this is for you and your partner, religious factors should not be an issue in your relationship. It's one of those things where, as long as you have that understanding that there is truth to everything, especially for the individual, then there's an understanding when it comes to those beliefs and not letting them affect the relationship. Because when I see you deserve love, I feel like somebody has a set way of believing, like they're set in their religious faith, right? No matter what that is. And for you, it may be a difficult situation. You know, if you're dealing with that kind of, it's so hard to talk about religion for me because, it's one of those things where I don't think that should stop anybody. Here's the thing. If you want to change your faith to be with a person, absolutely. But, you have to make sure that they would be willing to do the same thing for you, right? And I've always said this when it comes to beliefs. They're such a powerful thing. But it's important to remember that what somebody believes is their truth. Nobody can ever stand in judgment of that, right? It's needing to accept how the other person feels and believes when it comes to spiritual faith. But seeing you deserve love with it, that one's a little bit difficult for me, Leo. So for those of you who are in a relationship and you're dealing with religious factors, you have to remember here that there needs to be compassion and fairness, compassion and fairness when it comes to, what a person believes, right? But then again, your personal beliefs may be leading you to the perfect relationship where you do start to feel like you do deserve to be loved no matter what it is you believe. But either way, looking at the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords, absolutely speak your truth where you need to say it, but be open to, that new emotional beginning as well. Overall, Leo, it looks great. I worry a little bit for couples just seeing that, but, maybe I'm wrong, right? I would just be careful about what beliefs you allow to, cause problems within a relationship where somebody doesn't feel like they're getting enough love.